Good morning, Ma. We're live for today's Sunday Collective.
Hello, good morning.
It's so lovely to be with everyone and, of course, see you here ready for the Sunday Collective discussion on empowering habits. But before we get into that, how is your Sunday morning?
It's very interesting. I was just reflecting and talking about empowering. And yesterday I had somebody who was visiting me after 4 years, and she said that she feels very empowered, and she's cultivated an empowering habit that when the Sunday Collective comes, she's in the US and it's almost bedtime. So she's lying in bed and it's very empowering. She's listening to the Sunday Collective. And she says that every time we say good morning, she wakes up a little bit more and then she goes back to sleep after she's finished. So I think empowering habits are how you're cultivating and living your life and how you're actualizing your senses to convert everything to bliss and good fortune. And even in today's Let's Heal, I was talking about how the mind has 70,000 thoughts in a day, and it's always responding to whether we're thinking negative or positive, and we are actually beginning to feel that within our hearts and our minds. So that's why we have to be mindful of how we think, and we have to train ourselves to do the healing. And of course, even if you're not healers out there, you can still connect to a powerful positive affirmation so that your mind starts to think positive. And how does it impact? Because our brain then starts to release certain hormones like serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins that will then make us feel good. And then we will have that physical empowering energy to further validate that we are feeling good, and we are feeling good in the body. We are not just pretending to just repeat some mantra and some word. And things will start changing in our life, in our environment, with the people that we interact with the plants. And I was just meditating on this lovely plant just now, and we just started.
Yes.
And I was thinking that what are the empowering habits that a plant has, that it stays very rooted to Mother Earth. It has the capability to grow very strong roots and pull up the nutrition, the minerals, the flavors, the colors, the nutrition from the Mother Earth. So there's sufficiency of the air prana, sufficiency of the water prana, the earth prana, and the sunlight is coming on the leaves and becomes the kitchen of the plant and manufactures that chlorophyll, which makes the plant healthy and strong and beautiful. And that's the empowering habit that a plant has, and it's giving its beauty unconditionally to the world and also giving us the oxygen. So it's so beautiful. So what are we giving to others? So that's what we have. That's the most empowering. When we wake up in the morning every day, think about what it is that you are bringing to your day for yourself and to gift to others. And remember that as you gift out, you're creating space in your energy field to also receive those empowering gifts from others, which will benefit you and benefit your world and your family, your home, your finances, and your health and mental health as well. So that's what's so important about empowering habits. So what are habits? Those are things that we do on a daily basis, or that other people inspire us to do on a daily basis. And whether it's your parents, whether it's your even somebody who's taking care of you when you were a little baby, maybe that was your grandmother, maybe that was a maid or a caregiver, whoever it was, they're also carrying some empowerment with them, and they are also carrying some energies. And if you have those empowering energies being transmitted to you, then you're going to be formulating your own personality with it. And I remember that Divya, when she was very, very, very young, she used to stand in front of her little cupboard, and I had, at her height, these chest of drawers, and she would pull out, and then I remember, that we would give her choices of what she wants to wear. And she used to always say that, ape, that I'm going to do it myself. And sometimes she would really twin the purple with some bright yellow, and sometimes the pink with the green. And now when I reflect on it, she was always choosing combinations of different chakras, She wasn't wearing the red with the red, and, like some children love to be dressed in red shoes, red stockings, red skirt, red trousers, shirt, red sweater, red muffler. So she would always have a mix of colors.
Yes,
so I still remember that.
Till today.
Till today, yes, till today. So that aesthetic was coming from a previous life where the mind was activated by what they saw in the environment, what they heard, and then the soul develops its own individuality. So habits form with repeated action that we do in our life. So if we get into the habit of thinking negative, then wow, you really need to work on yourself to find where is that capsule of discomfort in your body and how to excavate it. And excavating it is very, very simple. You just go to your third eye chakra and you put the torchlight of your third eye chakra, visualize a beam of light, and just close your eyes and look within your body. Where is this, this irrational part of me living, and where is it trying to become bigger and bigger? And then you just send it some love, send it some healing, send it the sound of Om or whatever spiritual sound, or you just use the word shrink, 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 and it will, disappear. Because I remember once a very, very dear friend of mine, she had the cancer, and she had come to me and she said that, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? So, of course, I told her, come for healing. She said, no, you're too far away. I can't come every day. I'm so tired. I'm going to do this, that. But what can you do for me? So I had just given her one simple meditation that she had to do it. And boy, she did it so diligently. She made it into such a fine habit. And I think now today, it's 15 years, she still does it every day. And it was to take all the negative emotions and situations and even people. And I told her that she has to visualize this wooden chest and she has to put everything in it and shut it securely and see this river of gold on which it's floating away. And the only instruction was that the next day the box has to be a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller. And I think within 2 months her cancer had disappeared.
Wow.
Which was like a wow moment, and it's never come back.
Wow.
But she still does the meditation.
Wow.
And sometimes she says, the box becomes a little bigger, and then I have to go through those few days and then make it like a size of a dot of light and whatever's troubling her. And sometimes she has lots of things to complain about even today, because remember, what is the cancer profile, Divya?
That the cancer profile is that we're always complaining and we're always asking the world, why me? Like, why is this happening to me? And then resentful, because
why
those
isn't
things.
everybody loving me?
Yes.
Remember
or that I'm so good and I do so much.
And the world is not
appreciating
reciprocating. Me. But you can give yourself the maximum love. Nobody else can give you the love that you can give to yourself. So cultivate that. And maybe you can all use this box technique of meditation. Yes, to get rid of the negative 70,000 negative thoughts that you could cultivate in your brain in any given day.
Absolutely.
What to speak. So then maybe tomorrow you will have less of the negative and more of the positive. Remember that when you give away something, you are creating space in your chakras, in your aura, in your physical body, and even in your physical life and environment, You're creating space for new things to come in. So be very, very motivated and very, very succinctly listening to what's happening around you. Because that's very important.
Yes, ma'am. Truly, truly important.
Yeah.
And so just requesting if you could lead us in maybe a short version of this box meditation.
Yeah, at the end of the session.
End of the session we will. Okay,
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, something to look
forward to. And so just saying hello once again to everyone who's joining in, from Madhvi, from Washington, to Sheetal.
Oh, love you, Beta. So much love.
To Tiny Auntie, to Rajni Auntie, to Umang, Anubhai and Rachna,
So sweet.
to Parveen, to Tina Auntie, Jayati, Sanju, and many, many others. Binu Lad,
So sweet.
Mr. Ash, Ambika, Anita, Sakshi. So many, many, many messages of love. So connecting to them, sharing them with you, Ma.
Yeah.
And rejoicing with everyone here. So what are those empowering habits, or let me rephrase that, is there a habit that we have that we think is very empowering but actually could be detrimental? And could you give us an example of something like that?
Shall I tell you a story? Shall I give you an example?
Please tell us a story.
People always tell me that stories, they keep thinking about it for so long.
Yes, ma'am.
And so there was once a very, very fine Guruji who was a little bit of a mystical saint who used to create things out of, thin air. And so there were these 4 very intelligent boys who used to go to the Guruji every day. It was like a Gurukul, and they used to, learn from him, and they used to be very spiritual, and they used to sit at his lotus feet and say, Guruji, you're really great, and we want to learn more. And one of the boys, it was coincidental that his name was Subuddhi.
Oh.
And, one was Akash and the other was Pavan, and one's name was Rahil, right? So these 4 lovely friends, and they were really learning from the Guru.
Yes.
And then one day, the Guruji was teaching them some mystical science, and so they were laughing at Subuddhi and saying that he doesn't understand. And so the Guruji kept telling them, you 3 are very intelligent and you've really learnt the craft so well and everything is so wonderful. And so they kept saying that the Subuddhi is really not our type, And the Guruji would also very compassionately try to teach him, and he would not learn everything. So, especially the mystical aspects of the teachings that the Guru was imparting. So one day the Guruji said that now you're all ready and you have to go, you have to leave the village, you have to leave and you have to go and find some jobs, and you have to be very, very smart in cultivating your own essential life desires, and find a job to make money and support your life. And so now the 3 friends decided that they're not going to take Subuddhi along because he's going to be detrimental.
Oh.
And who's going to give him a job? And so they decided that they'll go. And so they had to walk through some forests and some lands and some, dark places, and to go to the towns far away. So one day when they were it was evening time, so one of them, I think Rahil, decided that he had sighted some bones.
Oh.
So then he said that, what should we do? What should we do with these bones? So he suddenly remembered his Guruji saying that, when you see bones, you should honor them. So he started doing some prayers and some mantras and started putting them together and, gathering them. And in his head, he thought that he will find a little burial place and they will, give them, accord them respect. But now Pavan had a greater idea. He said, I can create these bones back into a skeleton.
Oh.
So then Pavan went into his mystical form and he started creating the skeleton. And then the skeleton was being formed, and then Akash was very excited. So wherever the skeleton was being it was reformulating, and he was putting the flesh and the things,
gosh.
and he was putting all, and so now this body of this lovely lion was taking shape. So now, Buddhi was telling them, don't do this, don't do this. So what did Rahil, who had found the bone, now got really excited and he started chanting mantras to do pran pratishtha.
To bring back life into the dead lion.
So now, and he was like in an ego space, and so then Buddhi was telling them, don't do it, because it's going to be very, very dangerous. We will have no place to run. As soon as this lion is back in its original form, it's going to eat us. So they said, we know how to chant mantras to control him and all. So Subuddhi decided that he's going to climb the tallest tree. And he's not going to participate in any of this. And of course, the end of the story is very obvious. That the lion came to life and ate the three friends. And so Buddhi came back to the village to tell the Guruji. And so what did the Guruji say? That the false ego is the greatest habit that human beings
form. The false ego is the greatest habit that human beings form.
And they empower themselves with that I can
ego.
do it, I'm so good, I've learned so well. And they forget the Subuddhi, na? What is Subuddhi?
So Buddhi is intelligence and intellect and wisdom, a little bit of wisdom, and the knowledge and the understanding.
And the meditative, reflective, contemplative aspects of yourself that you have to keep very alive.
And in the Subuddhi is all auspicious knowledge, auspicious, the goodness of the knowledge, not the false ego aspect. Because someone can be very buddhiman, like very, very intelligent, but with the false ego, then it's a crushing intelligence, like the Akash and Rahil and Pavan.
So what does the Pavan do?
Pavan is the wind.
And it puts the bones back together.
Like a tornado.
Yeah, in Akash.
Is the sky or the ether, space.
That brings all the elements of flesh and bone, liquid and life form back into the body. And of course, Rahil wants to quickly put the pran pratishtha. So they are very ambitious and they're wanting to create and, put...
Rahil is the guide.
The guide,
The guide.
So
जो राह दिखाता है ना Rahil.
Rahi or Rahina.
Yes.
So he's first finding the bones,
path,
then Pavan is putting the bones into a skeleton, then Akash is putting the things.
The flesh.
And so Buddhi is climbing the tallest tree to have a world view of what is the possibility. Maybe a little bit fear is always good for the human mind. Because it keeps you short of taking rash decisions that come from the false ego.
I love this. I couldn't have imagined that this is the answer that we would get, but it's now makes so much sense with this story that of course the most detrimental empowering habit is
the false ego, and then that part of you that's the witness self or the Rahi or the Rahil has to take the winds of change, the Pavan, and has to create the space for Subuddhi to enter.
Oh my God, wow.
And Subuddhi is perched on the highest tree, it's your highest crown chakra, and has the highest intelligence. And from that space of highest intelligence, it's not so much fear as humility, that the Guruji never taught us to use all these magic potions and all. He taught them to us to empower us to see that how nature collaborates to create life.
Wow.
So they took it in the wrong sense that, let's experiment. And so it's very dangerous to experiment with habits.
Yes.
You must cultivate the ability to love yourself and then to share this love with others. And to let go of all the false ego, all the pain, all the conflict, all the worry, all this, feeling of I'm not enough, I'm powerless, everything is hopeless in my life, or I have this experience, I cannot, trust the world around me. We have to trust, we have to be courageous, we have to be confident, and we have to be humble. So that is why the story has come up in my consciousness right now. So it's very important to structure your life in a way where to really hear the truth of what is being shared and how it's being empowered, and not to use, the energy of the light in a negative way.
So that was my question, that even spiritual knowledge, when we corrupt it with our false ego, then we are using it, the light in these toxic is a good word, because it is, and the toxicity can be intoxicating.
Yeah. And the same way, in English we have winds of change.
Yes.
So Rahil was saying that he's going to give a decent burial to the bones,
And then how the
winds
mind
of
played
change,
played a
Vayu.
trick, the Vayu, the mind, and Kam and Vayu of the false ego, the Hara and the third eye, just
Resurrected.
created this wind of change
And passion.
I think that happens a lot of times, Ma.
Yeah, of course it does.
That we have a good intention and we've created a series of habits to fulfill that good intention or that desire or that plan of action, the Rahi, the Rahil, and we're guiding ourselves, and then suddenly we make choices and then later we regret them. So what is that one thing we can do to stick to the auspiciousness, to the Subuddhi? How can we stick to the Subuddhi?
Eyes that are really seeing and ears that are really hearing, and to practice silence.
Okay.
And not to rush in where fools would fear to tread. And how does that happen? Just give yourself sufficient time to see that, is this really going to benefit? Is this something that I'm going to create that's going to benefit the world around me? And if the divine has willed for that lion to go to its natural abode, why am I wanting to create something different?
So can I extrapolate this lion story to even a relationship that could have died a natural death? And then we go and we want to resurrect that friendship or resurrect that same equation that we had with someone in the past. But when we do the pran pratishtha and we do the winds of change, then is that our false ego wanting to control our life equations, and then that relationship becomes the lion that eats us up?
Yeah, so
Wow, that is so illuminating, Ma.
Yeah, so should I share another story?
Yes,
that will
please.
further expand? I've told this story many times, but I will share it again because
it's a new story, because we are new
story.
Understanding bringing
So
to
it's
it.
the story of the crocodile and the monkey.
Yes.
And this lovely monkey used to live on a mango tree. And it used to be very gleeful, very happy. He used to take the mangoes and used to eat them. And he was always, happy. So sometimes he would be living on the edge of this river, and he would be sharing these mangoes with other beings who would ask. So this crocodile one time came, and with his beady eyes, he would look at this tree and this monkey, and so happy and so friendly. So he had one day said that, I've never tasted a mango, so can you share a mango with me? I also want to see what it tastes like. So the monkey had, given him a few mangoes, and the crocodile really enjoyed the flavor. So every day the crocodile would come, swimming and come to the mango tree and engage with the monkey in great friendship. And the monkey was also very, very happy to give and share the bounty of the tree. And happily they would chat and chat and chat. Now the crocodile had a lovely wife. And the wife found that the crocodile would always leave her alone and he would go off. And he was getting very, very friendly and very attached to this monkey. So now she was getting heartbroken. And she was getting a little bit lonely, depressed, a little bit ill, right? So then one day when the crocodile went back, the doctors, the head doctor of the crocodiles had come that your wife is getting heartbroken. So we would need the heart of a monkey to be replaced. And this, is going to be, but you have to keep it a little bit, confidential. And you have to bring the monkey and we'll operate on him. So the wife was actually thinking that when the monkey comes, he's eaten all these sweet mangoes, and my husband keeps saying that, the fruit is so sweet, so juicy, so tasty, so divine. So can you imagine the monkey who's only eaten the mangoes? How sweet will be his flesh? So the husband, this lovely crocodile, goes, and he knows that he's not supposed to tell the monkey, but he's just supposed to bring the monkey. So he told the monkey that, I've always come and now I want to invite you to my home, and, my wife has prepared a feast for you, and so please come, hop on my back and I'll take you to the other side of this lake or pond or river, wherever they were, on the edge of this water body. So the monkey gave him a lot of mangoes and then hopped on his back. And now the monkey was singing and he was happy and all. So when he was in the middle of the river, the crocodile had a great moment of truthfulness. So he shared with the monkey, that my wife is very sick. And so the doctors need the heart of a monkey. So that's why I'm taking you. So now the monkey was thinking, wow, what a friend. What a confidant, So he said, oh, I really want to help you, but I left my heart on the tree. So take me back and let me go and get the heart. I really want to help you.
Oh my God.
So the crocodile swims back very quickly in eagerness. And once the monkey gets back on the tree,
he's not coming back.
The relationship is over.
It's over.
So now the monkey can sit on the tree and reflect that was it wrong of me to give so many mangoes, so many, moments of great sharing and conversations, and the lack of trust. But the monkey was very happy that in his actions was born the desire of the crocodile to be truthful in time.
Right.
So he's very happy. Nothing has changed him. Many more crocodiles came, many more monkeys came, and many other
seagulls and river
and everything.
Birds came, and he shared.
And he shared, and he went on and on and on, and lived a happy long life with the heart of a monkey intact.
I love that.
And the crocodile lost a friend.
So
but the wife, in her conniving, got her husband back. So it's benefit all around.
It's benefit all around. Except for the crocodile who lost a friend.
Yeah, of course. Maybe found another
friend.
We can see
it positively like that. There's so much to think about in that story.
That's a very old.
Yeah, I remember reading it in the Panchatantra tales.
Yeah.
But the way that you've told it today is a little bit different, and with the context of this conversation of habit forming, one wonders at what are the habits of the crocodile, what are the habits of the wife.
He's not giving anything back.
No, he's not giving anything back.
So in a relationship, when you don't give something back, and you just cultivate a habit of taking, and you're not giving anything back, then for sure you're coming to the end of that karmic debt where there is no more of the giving
Required.
and the energy of that story, when you're not replenishing by giving something back, and look at what you're
Then the
giving
relationship
back
has to
end and defuse
and if you're giving back the gift to the monkey, in this case, like you're giving back a
death.
gift of death, then that the monkey is karmically not ready to
Ready
accept
to
it. So then
accept
he
it.
is
His destiny is
is
more
more favorable. So then he can find a
he has to
escape
share.
route.
Yeah,
Escape route.
The mango tree is very, very happy that he's sharing, and he's not keeping all the mangoes for himself.
So in this story is actually the river and the mango tree and the elements actually really protecting the monkey because he is
And
participating.
Yeah, because that same river, that pond of water where the crocodile lives, is friendly. Because
Yes.
just before he reaches the home of the crocodile, he's already been served the truth
Correct.
that he's going to be having to give his heart, right?
So is it that in all our actions we should have honesty of sharing and
Yeah.
truthfulness, and then the universe
Just let the universe
must protect
decide.
us rather than depending on individuals to protect and be loyal? That's the We have to be loyal to the universe, so then the universe will be loyal
And I know
to
many
us.
people will feel bad for the wife who was neglected, and her husband was going off with his best friend, and not giving her time, and so she's scheming, conniving. The human mind is encapsulating all kinds of thoughts and plans and visions of how to make one's life better. But I've always found that the healing aspect of a human is that the more you give, the happier you become, and the more you share with others, and that's very important. So she could have come and enjoyed the sweet taste of the mangoes. The monkey would have been happy to
share with her.
She could have accompanied her husband, but that didn't cross her mind.
That didn't cross her mind.
Mm.
That's
She
so
got
powerful.
bereft and she felt unhappy. So we are unwilling to change. We want that the whole universe around us has to orchestrate to make everything better for us.
But what are we doing? We never ask that question.
And the fact that the crocodile never gave anything back to the monkey also shows you that the relationship between the two crocodiles was also not giving and sharing. The crocodile could have also invited her and said, "Come with me, and let's eat the mangoes together, and let's make friends with the monkey together." But mostly we like to keep a habit. Human habit is to have ownership. That this is mine. This is this experience has to be only for me. I think even in friends groups, people don't try to mix the friends. Because you feel that you've invited two friends and then you get left out and the other two become best friends.
Correct. Yes,
happens
it
a
happens
lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
So we like to be very protective or very insecure. I think it's the same thing. It's the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So there are no questions today, but
people are just, I think, also
in a state of
waking up. No, not only that, but also a lot of gratitude. We have Shruti Didi who says, such an eye-opening story, ma'am. Have read it so many times, but when we hear it from you, it just feels completely different. And then Mamta Dhingra says that, Ma, this is so beautifully deciphered by you that actually the crocodile, the monkey, the wife, the doctor, the mangoes, the tree, the river, everything is us.
Yeah, we are the witness.
We are the witness.
And depending on where we are looking, we'll partake of that feast.
Absolutely. And then we have our beautiful Malika Khurana, who says, good morning, Renuma.
Good morning from Dehradun.
Yes, she's saying, looking beautiful, Renuma.
Thank you.
And
sending healing to mom and you and the city of Dehradun.
Love it. And then we have a question from Pashruti. She says, good morning, Master. What is the one good habit we should inculcate that will make us successful in our career? I love you.
To be silent and never complain. The 70,000 thoughts that you cultivate. My boss is bad, my this is bad, my co-worker is bad, he's not nice to me, not respectful to me. Just be silent, practice silence, and put all these thoughts into that wooden box and float it on the river of gold and let it disappear. Let it be food for whoever needs it. Because whatever you let go of, it's food for other people, just like the plant gives off the oxygen and takes in the carbon dioxide. So you also be through that osmosis, connect to your own energy of sufficiency and know that you have the power and the ability to nurture yourself and to work, continue to work, do your work. And silence, I think that habit I really
So not only
admire in
verbal
people.
silence, but the silence of the
Internal,
mind,
yeah.
so that we're not criticizing our environment and the people that are there. So it's not only for the professional. I would say, ma'am, that
Yeah.
this can be extrapolated to our personal
Clothes. You open your cupboard,
and you're
people say,
criticizing your clothes.
I don't
Oh,
have
God.
anything to wear, this, so I've worn this 10 times, 5 times, 4 times. And that cloth may be saying, take me, wear me.
Correct.
I love you, I want to be draped on your body.
Yes, ma'am.
Could be food in the kitchen, whatever is cooked. Oh, this is so not tasting, this is not the taste I was looking for. This is not the jam, this is not the bread, this is not the chapati, this is not the vegetable, it should have been more green. I remember the first time after I was married, I had made matar paneer and my mother-in-law walked in without tasting it. She said, oh, why are the peas not green? And I looked at that curry and I said, they are green, but they're touched by the gravy of the onion and the tomatoes, and they've changed a little bit of color. So I was thinking that instead of being appreciative, she was saying, oh, they're not green anymore.
Yeah. The critical self reared its ugly serpentine head to sting others.
Yeah.
Suddenly I had that vision that that's what
Yeah.
all of us do as well with ourselves, what to speak
What
with
to
others.
Speak of others. Yeah. And whatever somebody will do, you'll always find it, you
Not
cook
satisfactory
potatoes,
enough.
They want it with the jacket. You take the jacket, and then when you cook
the
it
skin.
with the jacket, the skin, then they'll say, no. My stomach just can't digest the skin. I can't. It's so it irritates me. And then you put too many chilies. You put less chilies. This is too yellow. This is too white. This is too green. This is not green enough. And the story just goes on and
Continues.
on and on. There's salt and there's less salt and more salt and I like it with more gravy. This is too thick. I remember many people will say, this dal is cooked to perfection. Humko to patli dal achhi lagti, like
That we
watery.
like watery dal.
And then you make it watery and they say, oh, what have you made? This is dal kam thi ghar mein.
That was there less lentils in the house.
So it's just,
So is it that to answer Parshati's question that we have to first ask ourselves that am I dissatisfied all the time?
Yeah.
And if the answer is that yes,
Then you're living from your
your
false
false ego.
And the other thing is that your eyes are not seeing, your ears are not hearing correctly. And you're not telling yourself that you love yourself and the world loves you. And you have sufficiency.
Correct.
So you have to be very proactive in seeing how you're responding to your environment and yourself. And it's a very easy test. You don't need me or Divya or, to tell you that you're great people. You can tell yourself that.
Yeah.
And you can recognize and hear and listen carefully to what other people are saying. And you will know that what is the kind of people that you're living with and how are they responding. You cut an apple and everybody will take a piece of it. Everybody is going to have a different experience from that same apple. Somebody is going to say it's so delicious. Someone is going to say it's very tangy. Somebody will say it's sweet. Somebody will say it's hard. Somebody will say it's very soft. It's too soft and too hard. And I've had this story all the time.
All the time.
That, in this fruit salad, the apple should not have been there. On this fruit cream, we should have had more grapes and less, banana. I'm like, okay,
Zapped.
whatever, in that in that dig into the bowl, whatever was your karmic destiny is what you served yourself.
Absolutely.
So you are responsible, and karmically you prepared over lifetimes. So be satisfied. Take that mouthful of fruit cream and say it's delicious.
Delicious, delicious.
And the universe is giving you the grapevine grew those grapes, the banana tree grew the banana, and the people who brought it to the marketplace, and then you bought it from them, and you decided to cook it in that specific way is all your choices.
So is it sometimes that we want to even blame other things? Like it could be that, how can I, like, to take this food example, it could be that you've brought something and you've cooked it, and then it's the rajma's fault that it's kacha, or it's your pressure cooker's fault, or it's the fire's fault. Yeah, so
I didn't put enough salt in it to make it tender.
Yeah, so is it like other, even objects' faults, but never our own? Yeah. So how do we correct that thinking very consciously? Because I think that becomes a disempowering habit, or it becomes an empowering habit for the ego. I love this understanding. Yeah, it's so the favorite thing today.
The two mentalities, I think I covered it in one of the retreats long ago, that do you have a fly mentality or do you have a bee mentality? So if you're a fly, you're always going to look for the garbage. And then you're going to pick that garbage, and you're going to contaminate your environment more and more, faster and faster, with disease. And if you're the bee, you're going to find the most beautiful flowers to nest and to suck the honey and to share that sweetness with others. So always remember, if you are the fly, you are distributing disease and garbage and everything negative. So that's the most important aspect of how to check yourself, and how to be vigilant, and how to be responsible as a citizen of this world, and share. So I know a lot of people are very compassionately thinking, and seeking divine intervention for all the people in Turkey and Syria, absolutely, where the earthquake has
created such devastation. Yeah. Yes, ma.
And so you can, even by thought, you can wish well for them, right? Yes, that's also going to bring help, global help, to those people, and give them strength to rebuild their lives, right? It'll take some time, but they have to be rebuilt.
They have to be rebuilt.
So that's what the human race is all about, no? You can't say that it's happening to someone else and it can never happen to me. It can happen to us as well. So we have to be very vigilant.
Absolutely.
Of how we look. So always think of the bee and the fly.
Yes, ma.
So those are the two mentalities of the human. I think that also answers partly Pashwati's question, right?
Yes.
About silence.
Silence is the empowering habit for the subuddhi, the golden habit for the subuddhi. Yeah. Absolutely.
So sweet.
So Ma, I'll take two more questions before you lead us in the meditation. So we have Seerath, who says, good morning, respected ma'am, and dear Divya. I love you, Seerath. She asks that what is it that we need to check ourselves from time to time and be correct?
You have to check yourself that you're not complaining. And if you are spending all your time complaining, then you are uncomfortable, right? So the best thing is to change your position. So when you will change your position, you will immediately be able to see something differently. And sometimes we spend our life waiting for somebody else to help us. But we don't have karma that other people are going to help. So we have to take charge of our own response and move ahead.
Absolutely, ma.
So, I'm reminded of a little story once my dad used to share. It's a very, very old story about this very, very cold winter evening. and there's this hotel, and there's this very sweet old couple who enter the hotel, and they're shivering a little bit, and the manager, is there, and he's saying that, so they're hesitant, but they go up to him at the front desk, and they said that we need a room for the night. So he says, there's a conference going on, and we don't have any rooms. And he sees that look of disappointment and that cold and that little bit of frailty, fragility in the couple. And then he says, what I can do for you? You can take my room for the night because I'm on duty and you can stay there. So they are a little bit hesitant. And he says, no, be rest assured. I'm willing to share my room with you. So please come. And he escorts them to his room. And he makes it's a very, threadbare room in one part of the hotel. And but the couple is very grateful. And then the next morning, when they come out of the room and they thank him, they appreciate his goodness by saying that you should actually be the manager of the best hotel in the world.
Oh.
And I am one day going to build this hotel for you.
Oh gosh.
So
wow.
this manager looks at them and
says,
let's
okay.
train them. So he says, okay.
He says, "Tiga." Yeah.
And then he forgets about this encounter. They thank him for his hospitality and they leave. And then 2 years later, the manager receives the letter with a return ticket to New York. And then he, has it written that we're inviting you to New York to be our guest and please come. So he goes without expectation, and then the old couple takes him to 34th Avenue in New York, and there is a twinkling building with pink stones and all, and he's looking and he's wondering that why is this. So he says that this is the hotel I've built for you, and so you're going to be the manager, come and manage this. And the gentleman was the William Waldorf Astor.
Oh wow.
And on the Waldorf Astoria Hotel.
On 34th Street,
yeah.
yes.
34th Avenue.
This is a real story?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wow.
So the thing is that habits, of generosity of spirit, not that, oh, this is my family, even strangers, you have to build that into your psyche, into your consciousness to be able to take that essence forward and to share it with the world.
Love that.
So that just popped up in my head, I don't know from where.
I'm grateful.
That is the habit of generosity that you have to cultivate. Without expectation. He's not doing it. He didn't know who they were.
Well, yes, absolutely.
So
brilliant. I'm just so overwhelmed with this story. It's just so touching and just happy, tingly all over.
Very happy.
So the last question I'll take is from Umang, who takes us back to the monkey and the crocodile story. And he asks, Ma, what was the habit or consciousness of the monkey to have attracted the crocodile? And what habits should we inculcate to protect us from crocodiles and also from not becoming the crocodile? Grateful.
So the monkey was attracting, he had a great spirit of sharing. And he wanted friendship. He was a little bit lonely, and he wanted to share the fruits of the tree, which he was tasting and thanking the tree every day, and the tree was also participating with him. But the tree was not able to have the conversation, so he attracted this. But there was nothing wrong with the crocodile. He was very non-attached at wanting to give punishment. But the wife, sometimes it's not the person that you're interacting with who has to give you the karmic resonance. It is an extension of that person who's going to, supposing, your brother and you have a great relationship and he gets married. Maybe the wife has to give you a certain aspect of disinterest or lack of, association, or, not inviting you into the family meetings. So that could then be hurtful to you, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that is how relationships on an external basis. That's why healing is so important, that you send out the healing along. Now, if the monkey was the healer, he would have sent out the healing. And when the karma of the mango was over with the crocodile, he would have just disappeared from his
and
life.
moved away.
Yeah.
Without any
Punishment. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great. And
So
how do
that's
we
how it
stop
is.
ourselves from becoming the crocodile? We can't really.
We
are
all
all
have that.
crocodile
We all
sometimes.
have the associations. They're called attachments.
Yeah.
When we take our first breath, we get very attached to the material universe, and we forget everything about our spiritual, intelligence. And that's why Subuddhi is so important, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to stay at your crown chakra, which is at the top of the tallest tree. The tree is growing in your spine, your chakras, the 108 chakras, and you're going and you have a world view, and you know that everything here is this give and take. It's about finishing off your karmic destiny with souls, so that you can be well prepared. But you have to always stay connected with that highest intelligence that is taking you to liberation and enlightenment, liberating you from all give and take, and enlightening you that you have to do service there in the divine abode and not here.
Absolutely.
Mithya and Maya. Na?
Mithya and Maya.
Mithya is illusion and Maya is Maha-illusion.
Yes.
Highest
illusion. Attachment and illusion.
Mm.
And then we have Mr. Kaushik Ghoshal, who asks that at times when, with all the wisdom and good thoughts, there are times when we instinctively get angry and this anger overpowers us and the route of our life completely changes. Is it the karma of all parties involved?
Yeah, I get the karma of all parties involved, but you, because you're talking about it, you are responsible in this and every episode. And so I always tell people that when you're really wanting to retaliate, silence is the first instrument. The second is water, because it will give you peace of mind and calmness. And the third is to take at least 11 steps away from that position. So I'm not saying that you threateningly go and want to hit somebody, but you just go and maybe walk to the window, walk to the kitchen to get that glass of water, or just say, distract yourself with the sound, which is away from what is the interaction going on. So 11 steps, or chanting Om internally also helps, and doing the Soham breathing. The sound of So on the in-breath and Hum on the out-breath is the song of your body, which you can immediately connect to, and it will completely
douse the anger. That's
anger.
The word that I'm coming with, that douse the anger.
Yeah. Because anger is only the false ego at its ugliest, serpent-like.
Yes.
Ready to bite. Not bite the other, bite away
yourself.
your good fortune. Destroy it completely.
Yes, ma.
It's very, very important.
And then we have a last question from Mamta Dhingra, who says, ma'am, how do we heal ourselves when we identify ourselves as the crocodile and the crocodile's wife?
Just do lots of healing. And go for long walks and water plants and do things for other people. No? Remember, the crocodile never did anything back for the monkey. So when you find yourself as the crocodile and the crocodile's wife, means that you don't have the ability to share forward. Absolutely. So, and it's not necessary to make besan laddus and give to your loved one. It's about making the besan laddus and giving them to unknown people. People that you've never met, who will be very, very thrilled to receive those. I'm just saying because she just loves making besan laddus.
Yeah, absolutely, ma.
Yeah.
So very grateful for all the stories you've shared, ma, today, and so many practical illustrations come out of these stories, and also grateful to everyone who asked questions today. I'm so grateful, because it's given me and everyone else listening in these tools that Ma has shared of the silence, the Soham breathing, the compassionate thoughts to ourselves, not to criticize, and so much more.
And why not stand in service? It's interesting. Nobody's saying that how can we be the manager?
The manager or the monkey.
Yeah.
I identified the most with the monkey, and I thought it was so great that he had this heart of sharing the
Yeah,
mangoes.
but the monkey is a little bit removed because it's taking from the tree and giving the valuable, essential nature of the tree to the crocodile.
Not
But
his
the
essential. The manager.
is giving his own room.
His own room.
Yeah.
Yes, Ma.
Generosity of spirit.
So let us all meditate and affirm that we are the manager
Yeah.
who's so giving. So, Ma, as promised, you lead us in the 2-minute meditation. So, what should we do to get prepared?
We should just chant Om three times. Let's do it together. And you can close your eyes or keep them open. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I love it.
So take a few deep breaths. Let's chant Om together 3 times. Visualize a beautiful golden light above your head. See it turning to liquid gold and flowing just like from a jug. Somebody's pouring this golden liquid into you, and it's filling up from your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, filling up your torso, flowing into your arms. And when the arms and fingertips are flowing with this light, there's sufficient energy to rise from your neck to your face and back of your head, and gently, like a cup, from the top of your head, this liquid gold flowing into your aura body and into the world around you. Now visualize a golden river of light flowing from your heart, from the center of your chest. And in this river of light, there is all auspiciousness, your love that you're sharing with the world. Take your awareness to your third eye chakra at the center of your forehead and see a torchlight, a beam lighting up all that you want to let go of. And see yourself being gifted this wooden box of the earth element, the sun element, the air element, the water element, and see the space inside this box. And whatever it is that you don't like about your life, place it in that box. Meditate. Maybe you're already aware, maybe the false ego is the first thing you have to put in the box, or your hate or anguish, maybe broken relationships, maybe some ill health. Whatever it is that's coming into your focus, place it in that box. Close the box. Put it very gently onto that river and see it receding and moving away from you. Be grateful that it's moving into the horizon. And remember that tomorrow, when you repeat this exercise, the box should be a little bit smaller. And as it moves away from your vision, it disintegrates into the golden river and everything transforms to light. Be thankful that you're here with us, as Divvya and I are very grateful for all of you joining in. Love you all. Gently open your eyes and chant Om once. Om.